As a researcher, as a scientist, as a nutrition specialist, I've been sports science, master's degree in nutrition, and I knew that I wanted to look at how we can take all that evidence and benefit people who are recovering from cancer, cardiovascular disease, pneumonia, type 2 diabetes, whatever it was. I wanted to work with those people. And I did that for 6 years. And my PhD, my research was looking at fatigue, how we can overcome fatigue. And I've specialized a lot in cancer and type 2 diabetes, all the way through to people doing sport. Really stop what we are witnessing in the world, which is ever increasing poor quality of health. Across Europe, the US, Australia, the UK, health has got worse. Chronic health has got worse. So we need to stop that. And that's where I kind of position myself, is saying, well, how can we do things better? However, we weren't getting very far, because year on year, the health statistics keep getting worse. And I'm working away on a project called epigenetics. And for those of you who don't know, epigenetics is simply, we look at what happens to us genetically with regards to the food we eat, the exercise that we undertake, and lifestyle choices, alcohol, smoking, negative things. But I'm interested in the positive things. What can we do to make things better? I was writing about the epigenetic impact of omega-3 and the fact that we don't eat enough of it, that our omega-3/6 ratio is compromised. We just don't get enough omega-3, and we've got a problem, because for people to get enough omega-3, we'd have to say, right, so you have to eat fatty fish every single day, and we can't do that. There's two reasons why we can't do that. One, intensive aquaculture just means that there's not the same nutrient availability amongst fatty fish as there was 50, 60 years ago. So that's the first problem. The second problem is we need to feed billions of people every single day. And we just can't sustain that. The fishing industry can't achieve it. So we need to get really clever. We need to be able to get more from less. We need to use our 21st century technology and be really smart, and mean that with less, we can reach more. An old friend of mine called Tony O'Neill. And for those that you don't know, Tony O'Neill is a big hitter in the world of, commerce, commercial business world. And he's had some health issues, and the phone started to ring. So I answered it. I said, okay, Tony, what's the matter? You okay? And he said, Col, someone has talked to me about a product, and they said it'll be good for my health. And he goes, the only person I trust is you. Will you have a look at it for me? He said, and the other thing is, I think the business is really interesting. So I said, who is it? And he said, Zinzino. Never heard of them. Never heard of them. And I said, okay, what's the product? And he said, well, it's omega-3. I said, is it fish oil? And he said, no, it's not fish oil. It's not fish oil. I said, okay, I'll have a look. So I went on the website and I got my notebook out, and I thought, I'll write 4 things as to why this is rubbish. And then I'll send them a text message and I'll crack on with the rest of my day. And I opened up this website, Zinzino, and I clicked on, and I went, wow, this looks really good. So I thought, they can't be that good. Nothing ever is. They're just saying the right things. So I'll have a real look. So I started to click through some of the pages, started to look at the ingredients, started to look at the claims they were making. And I actually rung him back and I said, Tony, I'm going to need more time. This looks good. I won't lie, it looks good, but I don't trust it because it looks really good. So I'm going to give me a couple of days. Let me have a look at it and let me, find out for real. So I went and had a proper look. I looked at every single page, product, ingredient, certification. I looked at the labs. I looked at the type of blood analysis. I looked at whether or not that was genuinely independent. I rang the laboratory. They had no idea who I was. And I asked them some questions that only a legitimate laboratory could answer. And then I looked at the scientific advisory panel, and then it started to make sense. So I thought, right, okay, there's a lot of really good stuff being said here, but there's a lot of really good people who are making this stuff. And whenever people ask me for nutrition advice, I have to get it right, because if their athletes take something and they are tested and they get a positive drugs test, that's their career over. And I said, I think this is incredible. And so much so that I'm going to get my wife and my children to start taking this straight away. This is what people need to take. I'd stood up at a conference 2 years before in America, and I said, why are we getting food so wrong? We've got all the technology. We know how to do it right. We understand the science. But why is nobody making ethical, good nutrition that is affordable to people, that makes a positive change in their lives? Why are we doing all this rubbish stuff? Why has no one stepped forward and made a really good 21st century product that helps people? So I'm in a position now for the first time in my professional career where I can say to people, here's a product you should take. And I'm still not, to this day, I don't sell Zinzino products. I'm not a salesperson. I'm a scientist. I'm a researcher. I'm an academic. Because people ask you all the time, can I take this? Should I take that? What do you think I should take? I was able to say, you should take this. You should take Balance Oil, and you should take Protect, and you should take Extend, because these are derived from food and will bring about a positive change to your health status from the start. So my wife, we've had 3 children together, and she was mid-40s and was getting a bit of kind of changes that people get when they're getting older, getting a bit of bruising. She would bruise easily, getting a bit of joint pain, disrupted sleep, just not feeling great. And we tried a lot of things. We tried a lot of other changes to the diet. We looked at exercise, hadn't really brought a change. And then we started on Balance Oil. And all I can say is that if I had any doubts, objectively, independently as a researcher and scientist, if I had any doubts, what I've witnessed firsthand with my wife would convince me of how well this works. But fortunately for me, I understand all the science behind it as well. The difference the polyphenol makes to the omega-3, the fact that there's vitamin D in there, the fact that there's omega-9 in there. Balance Oil is not fish oil. And I keep telling people this. Balance Oil is balance oil. And it works. It's like taking really high quality food. It's not a chemical. It's not fake. It's not synthetic. It's really high quality food. Same for Protect, same for Extend. What I've seen in the past 2.5 months since I've been full-time with Zinzino, the people I've met, the passion they have, the drive they have to achieve that, to move forward, to be successful on their own terms, and to be successful by doing good in the world is remarkable. I've got big goals moving forward. We've already got new products in the pipeline. We don't want to be a business. We don't want to be a company with stacks and stacks of products. We want to be a company with products that matter, real solutions for real problems. And we would rather work really hard on a handful of products that are really excellent than do a bit of work and have 20 products that do a little bit of something. We want to create the best products. We want to keep improving those products. We want it to be informed by research and good science. And we want to be the best business in the world that is changing people's health. That's what we want to do. That's our goal. That's the ambition of Zinzino.